Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our Raw recap. First off, let's jump right in, starting with the negatives of the night. Really, one tag team match that I'm going to put in this category, the Los Matadors versus the Primetime Players. To me, it just didn't work, and I really do enjoy the Primetime Players. They got distracted by New Day, which I really am enjoying that feud as well. This match, however, I don't know what the Los Matadors are about. I don't know that they care about them. I don't know that they matter, and it feels that way when they're in a match. Los Matadors pick up the win. I don't know, the match didn't work for me. Next up, right into the worst match of the night. The Miz versus Big Show. I'm sorry, folks. I can't get behind this feud at all. With or without Ryback, and I think Ryback's been the highlight of the feud. I think Miz is kind of like a boat with no rudder. We don't know where he's going. Big Show is so far past his prime at this point, and they've wasted too many heel face turns with him and back and forth and everything, that it is very hard to be invested with his character, because let's say I jump on board with Show this week, by the end of the month he's going to turn heel or turn face or whatever it may be. Show picks up the win. I don't know, to me it's just been boring. Coming off of that, we're going to go right into our question of the week. Now, the question of the week from last week was, with the influx of the three new NXT divas, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, which of the three do you think is going to go the furthest? Got some answers from our friends. First from Steve Tatanani. Hey George, great question. I think that Sasha Banks will go the furthest in WWE. An excellent wrestler with lots of charisma and an excellent gimmick to boot. Next is from our friend Dizzlepup. I'd pick Charlotte to be pushed. The announcers will make a big deal of her lineage. Her blonde bombshell look will be easy to push. Whether this translates to longevity in the business, only time will tell. I am a little bit skeptical of all this. Kudos to the WWE for doing the promo with Stephanie, but I just hope they keep this momentum up. The women's division could be what the Cruiserweight division was in WCW. Next up, Sonny the Green Orc. I think the Boss will go the furthest. Speaking of Sasha Banks, who's known as the Boss. Our friend Benjamin Me19. Hey Heel Heat, I honestly think that the three newcomers could be equally successful. I've not watched a lot of NXT, but I have heard the amazing matches in the women's division. I think it's Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H's decision what happens and their responsibility. If it continues to be six-man matches at pay-per-views, Sasha Banks will probably stand out due to her gimmick, but if they are given 15-20 minute matches in more than one match and more than one feud at pay-per-views, I could see all of them having huge success. Not only that, but it would raise the success of already established stars on the main event roster like Paige, the Bellas, etc. How about approaching AJ Lee for a return? We can only wish. Perhaps we could have a Medusa-like moment. One of the three winning the title, throwing it in the trash, and brings back the women's title. Really like that idea. Also at Battleground, I noticed the women's match was amazing, except when Brie got involved. Maybe the division wasn't crap because they were only given 6 minutes. Maybe they were only given 6 minutes because the division was crap. Food for thought. Which came first, the crappy women's division or the crappy matches? And last but not least, from our good friend Christian, Sasha Banks will be the best heel on WWE. A lot of love for Sasha, a little bit of love for Charlotte. I'm going with Charlotte, to be honest with you. She's the most athletic of the three. She has the built-in pedigree, the lineage. She's the daughter of the greatest wrestler of all time, Ric Flair. Um, and she can wrestle. She's an amazing athlete. I do agree that the blonde hair, her looks, her volleyball player body are going to help her go really well. If she's going to go to the people that are attracted to her, and it's also going to go to the people that want to see good wrestling, because she could do both. She could both be beautiful and a great wrestler. So I think she could go the furthest. Sasha Banks is very interesting. Becky Lynch, very interesting character. I think they're all going to be successful. I think that Charlotte is going to live up to her name and be a success just because she is. She's got the drive in her. Now, coming off of that, our question of the week for this week. What is your favorite piece of WWE or wrestling swag that you own? Whether it be a toy from your childhood, a t-shirt, a headband, a poster, a ringtone maybe, a cell phone case, a championship belt, whatever it may be. Let me know what you have out there. I want to hear what your favorite piece of wrestling swag is. Hit us up on our Facebook, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up in right down here in the comments, right there in that little box. Make sure you hit like and share, get our word out there. Share it with the rest of the wrestling world. Now we're going to jump into the positives for the night. First up, the aforementioned Charlotte versus Brie Bella. I thought this was quite a good match. I think the Bellas don't quite get enough credit for how good they are in the ring. Are they the best women's wrestlers? Not by a long shot. But they can put on good matches, and they can put on quality matches with good talent with them. And I thought this was an example of that. Charlotte picks up the win, as she should. She's going forward to become what I think will be a major star. And how do you do that? You beat a former Divas champion. Makes a whole bunch of sense. Next up, the Paul Heyman promo, which brings out Undertaker, which brings out Brock Lesnar. They have the pull-apart fight with the whole locker room piling out to come and break them up. I thought this was a fantastic piece of drama they put in here. It looked real. It looked like they wanted to kill each other. They were throwing heavy hits at each other. They were destroying wrestlers, referees, and security. It just felt right. It felt like what Undertaker and Brock Lesnar would do. It felt like this is the kind of thing that these two guys would be doing. Going from that, we're going to go into our promo of the night. And we're going to look no further than the opener of the show, Undertaker standing tall in the ring explaining why he interfered at Battleground and how it's time that Brock Lesnar pays up for basically making a name off of the Undertaker streak. I loved it. It was classic Undertaker. Everything we like about him, all in one promo. What isn't there to love? And coming from that, we're going to go into our match of the night. To me, the match of the night was Paige and Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks and Naomi. Again, the women's division has been rejuvenated. This was an excellent match, the best quality match of the show. It was fun, it was interesting. You had the new talent, Becky and Sasha, out there. You had the existing stalwarts in Paige and Naomi. The team of Sasha and Naomi pick up the win. Sasha makes Paige tap out, which looks like a big deal because in the last year, Paige has been a two-time champion. Again, making the newcomer look like a big deal right there off the bat. I like what they did. I liked the match. I thought it was great. I thought it was the match of the night. And going from that, we're going to roll right into our ratings. Now, we have a 1 to 5 scale here at Heel Heat. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. 1 is a Los Matadors, 2 is a Heath Slater, 3 is an R-Truth, 4 is a Randy Orton, and 5 is a Brock Lesnar. I'm giving the show a 4, a Randy Orton. I thought it was solid from the beginning to the end. A little bit nitpicky with my Los Matadors PTP match. Miz and Show I didn't really like. A lot of stuff that was good. Bray Wyatt match, or not Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Roman Reigns. Good, not great. the main event. The main event, a little bit lackluster to me, and the way that everybody walked out was a little bit weird. And hence why I didn't make this. It just seemed odd that it would go that way. But I digress. All in all, a very good show. I give it a 4, give it a Randy Orton. It was very entertaining, fun to watch. We see new talent shining on the show. We see new angles develop. We see one of the greatest of all times back on Monday Night Raw and in The Undertaker. We seen the beginning of the build for Taker versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. So there's a lot to like, very little not to like, in my opinion. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Raw Recap.